What's going on, guys? Chris Lombardi, Sales Director here at Central Payments. Hope everybody's having an awesome start to their morning. I wanted to talk today about pricing. Probably the most common question I've received over the last 12 years at Central Payment is, what are your rates? How do the rates work? What do you guys charge to process credit cards? So I'm going to talk a little bit about our rates. I won't go over our fees on today's video. I'll do that here in the near future, but just about how the pricing works. Now, you hear on all the videos on the portal and on the conference calls about getting someone's statement, and that's really where the pricing analysis begins, is getting someone's monthly bill. The reason is it allows us to look at their current pricing structure and then offer them a rate so we can save them money. We can't tell someone how much we can save until we know what they pay. But what I want to do today is help you understand how we pay for credit card processing and how we bill our merchants per transaction. So the first part to it is called interchange. Interchange, okay guys? And interchange is the cost that's determined by the card issuing bank. So if I have a debit card from Bank of America, every time I use my debit card, Bank of America makes money. Again, the card issuing bank charges the interchange rate. Now the interchange rate, guys, this is one of hundreds of different rates. Different banks, different types of cards. For example, a credit card, a rewards credit card, a corporate card. All these different types of cards have different interchange rates, and the bank determines these costs. So I'm going to give you a couple different examples. We're going to call this one the regulated debit rate. And then we'll call this one the CPS Rewards 1. Okay, so again, these are two categories that the interchange rates would be. Okay, and again, these are hundreds of different rates that would fall in this category. So this is a regulated debit card. This comes from a bank that has a net worth of 10 billion or more. 0.05% and 22 cents per transaction. This one is considered CPS Rewards 1. The cost we pay to the card issuing bank is 1.65% and 10 cents. This is a rewards card from Visa. I'll say it one more time. Interchange can break down in about 100, maybe 500 different card types, depending on a few different variables. Now, how we bill our customers is different. There's two different ways. We have what's called pass-through pricing, and then we have what's called tiered pricing. We're going to start with pass-through. Start with interchange pass-through pricing. So when we run a credit card for our client, the business owner will pay the interchange rate. In addition to that, they're going to pay a markup to Central Payment. Let's call the pass-through 0.25% plus 10 cents per transaction. So if they were to process this regulated debit card, they're going to pay the bank 0.05% and 22 cents, and then they'll pay Central Payment 0.25% and 10 cents per transaction. Okay, pass-through pricing. Every time they run a card, they pay the interchange rate, and then they pay us the pass-through markup, depending on what that is. This markup will be determined by what we see on their statement. So if you give me someone's monthly bill and they're currently paying interchange pass-through pricing, they're currently paying a basis point markup and a transaction fee on top of the interchange rate. This won't change. This will be the same. We're going to reduce this cost by getting that monthly bill. Now, the other way we can bill a merchant, like I had mentioned before, it's called tiered pricing. Tiered pricing. Okay? Now, Central Payment goes with a 4-tier program. We have the check card rate, the qualified rate, the mid-qualified rate, and the non-qualified rate. Okay, 4-tier pricing. So every time one of these transactions is processed, it will fall in one of these categories. Check card is for debit cards. Qualified is for credit cards. Mid-qualified is for rewards credit cards. And non-qualified is for business credit cards or transactions that get keyed in rather than swiped. A couple of the reasons that they would fall non-qual. Again, debit, credit, rewards, and business. So rather than saying you're going to pay this plus this, when you're on a tiered account, all you're going to pay is this rate. So we'd say check card at 0.89%, let's say. Qualified at 1.65%. Mid-qualified maybe at 2.75%, and so forth. And then we'll have a trans fee of, let's say, 22 cents. So if you're on tiered pricing, these rates will fall in here, and this is all you pay. And the margin for profit and for residuals will come from the difference from what we charge and what we pay to the card issuing bank. So guys, what I'm getting at is every single transaction that gets processed is going to fall into one of these categories. and the merchant will pay according. If they're on pass-through pricing, they're going to pay this rate plus whatever we mark up on top. That's why it's so important to get someone's statement. It's not just because we want to see what rates they have, it's because we want to see what type of pricing that business owner has. Every account will be different. The way we like to reference it is in any other industry, I can't just tell you what my costs are, right? If I go to the doctor's office with a sore throat, they don't just prescribe me a medicine. They need to look at my throat, tell me what I have to fix my problem. If I want to go buy a new car, they don't just tell me what my APR is, right? They want to look at my bank statements and my credit to tell me what I've qualified for. This industry is no different. I can't tell you how much I can save you. I can't tell you how much we can help you until we figure out what type of pricing you have, what type of cards you process, and what categories those fall into, and also what kind of pricing structure you have. That's the important of getting someone's monthly statement, guys. On a future video, we'll talk a little bit more about the fees. There are a couple monthly fees to process credit cards as well. But at the end of the day, your job is to get the merchant statement so we can show them how much money we can save. You get that statement, you send it into your sales director, and we'll send you back a nice professional presentation for you to show your clients. Guys, have an awesome afternoon. We'll see you in a little bit.